As the sisters moved from Ireland to the United States, the same realities persisted. And the Bishop of Chicago was a pretty visionary guy. I think he was probably overwhelmed. He was the very first Bishop of Chicago, Bishop John Porter. And when he heard that these sisters were coming, he was standing at the dock as they got off the boat saying, "Come to Chicago," because he knew he was going to need help. And he knew that these were women who had a passion for helping and for making a difference. I doubt that he had a real clear sense of what they might do for him, but I think he knew that they could provide real assistance in a very concrete way.
There were 5 sisters who were brought here by Francis Ward, and they were all under the age of 24. And the oldest was the 24-year-old, and that was Agatha O'Brien. But she came, and these 5 sisters actually turned Chicago upside down in the ways that were needed. For example, she started the Catholic school system while she was here. She also started the First Mercy Hospital, orphanage, and so she was very engaged and well needed. Catherine Macaulay's vision was that women their status needed to be raised. They needed to know how to get employment so that they could care for their children and themselves. And so her idea was that starting academies for women would be the way that we could get women educated, and then they would become independent, and they would be able to have employment and have a dignity that was needed by women at that time. The academy was the forerunner of St. Xavier University. That was begun, and it was only for women in its inception.
The academy has really embraced this model of female education that's popular for well-to-do women, young women. You know, you've got a good education, solid, in terms of scholastics, but you also learn the finer things of life, languages. You're sewing, and how to be a good companion in life. It was also produced vocations as well. But yeah, I think it's modeled on that idea, and it's similar to much of American Catholic female education for the time.
In reading about our history here in Chicago, that the bishops were very concerned that the south side of the city would have a faith-based college, educational institution, and that is exactly what happened then.
It drew from both Protestant and Catholic families. That was always the concern that Protestants would have, that the sisters would want to convert them to Catholicism. They were careful not to do that because they could lose students that way. The fire basically makes the Sisters of Mercy build a new building in that location, and it's thought to be quite the building for its time. Eventually it's going to go further south to 49th and Cottage Grove, where it will stay. It's when they open the college at the same time, or it'll stay until they move out to its present location.
The Chicago fire, was for many, many different places, institutions, families. Everyone was impacted by it greatly.